Many people worried that Amy Coney Barrett on the Supreme Court could finally accomplish what Republicans have been pushing for more than a half a century, which is overturning Roe v. Wade, which all of them are now saying that's totally not why we're putting her on there, wink, wink. Here she is being asked about it this morning by Dianne Feinstein.
Do you agree with Justice Scalia's view that Roe was wrongly decided?
Senator, I completely understand why you are asking the question, but again, I can't pre-commit or say, yes, I'm going in with some agenda, because I'm not. I don't have any agenda. I have no agenda to try to overrule Casey. I have an agenda to stick to the rule of law and decide cases as they come.
Well, as a person, I don't know if you'll answer this one either. Do you agree with Justice Scalia's view that Roe can and should be overturned by the Supreme Court?
Well, I think my answer is the same, because that's a case that's litigated. It could, its contours could come up again. In fact, do come up. They came up last term before the court. So I think what the Casey standard is, and it's a contentious issue, which is, I know, one reason why it would be comforting to you to have an answer. But I can't express views on cases or pre-commit to approaching a case any particular way.
Okay, so I have thoughts, but Adrienne, you first. What did you think about that?
Well, I think she took the punt that she had to take and that she should take. I do have concerns, however, very much about Roe v. Wade, and because the real attack is on Planned Parenthood v. Casey, which was the case that came after Roe v. Wade that kind of really set the foundation for what the abortion rights that we have as of right now. I don't know what to think, because we do need a strong precedent set. We also need states and legislature to pass laws that are concrete. And yeah, because it's going to be scary when we have judges out here using this originalism and textualism methods to make these decisions, because they're just going to leave us minorities, whether gender, racial, or sexual minorities, at a loss.
So I really want to hear your opinion on this, because to me, so we just played two clips. We played the clip about the election, we played the clip about this. Her answer was basically the same. And it seems like the evasion is, I can't pre-commit to a particular decision. Okay, that's fine. But those questions were not the same. One was, if a case about Trump specifically delaying the election comes to you, what do you think about that? That's a hypothetical. It's sort of asking you to pre-commit. Asking you if you think that a 50-year-old Supreme Court decision was wrongly decided is not pre-committing to any particular pending or future case. It is a sort of, I would assume there's not a single person who's graduated law school, has become a judge, is thinking about getting on the Supreme Court, that doesn't have an opinion on whether Roe v. Wade was rightly or wrongly decided. She has that opinion. She just won't tell us what it is. We know what Scalia said not long ago, but she won't tell us. So for me, that answer is absolute BS. That is just trying to hide what you think about Roe v. Wade, not pre-committing to any particular case, but hiding what you view about an entire area of law. What do you think about that?
And I think you're absolutely right, because she does have a decision. The thing that I think she's avoiding getting into is the nuance with that decision. Because if you were to ask me if a landmark decision was rightly decided or wrongly, there are different understandings of what's right and wrong. If we're talking legally, did they follow stare decisis? Did they follow all of the line of cases that had already been touching upon this issue? No, they broke away from it. That's how we got these monumental decisions like Brown v. Board and Miranda v. Arizona and Roe v. Wade, because you had a court that decided, nah, we're gonna spin things up, we're gonna change it now and do what we know to be right, based on what the people need, because we essentially can't wait for Congress to pass the right laws. But legally, the decision, no, it wasn't done correctly because it didn't follow the rules, but it did the right thing in terms of advancing society. So you get in this nuanced situation of, well, what hat do you want me to argue wearing this? Do you want me to argue this as a person, or do you want me to argue this as a lawyer who says that the rules need to follow a certain path? And so that's where things get very difficult for these Supreme Court nominees, because it's too nuanced to have these discussions with members of Congress who oftentimes are, shenanigans, and they're looking for a good opportunity to catch you slipping so that there can be a soundbite.
I don't know. For me, it's the collision between, we're gonna give you a lifetime position. This is our one chance, and it's not a chance. Hypothetically, it could be a chance. In this case, it's not a chance to decide whether you belong on the court or not. And if you get on, then you're there for, Dianne Feinstein will be dead and buried for literally decades before Amy Coney Barrett ever leaves the Supreme Court. And you're not gonna let us know what you think about very important rights that more than 50% of the American public now have access to, but that access could be taken away. That just doesn't seem like, if we got the Ro Khanna Supreme Court with every president getting to nominate 2 and they have 18-year terms or whatever, okay, maybe you could be a little bit more like Heidi with your opinions, but it's insane when the people don't get to weigh in. They're literally not even being given the option with the election that's currently ongoing, and you're on there forever. It doesn't seem like it should be acceptable. That in these areas, like she knows if she wants to overturn Roe v. Wade or not. I understand that we have this mythology built up where every single human being is a base partisan tribal person, except for those who want to go on the Supreme Court. They don't have any goals, no ideology. They don't care about politics. They haven't supported or opposed any politicians. They don't have a dog like in the fight of any given election. They're just these angelic scholarly beings who only have philosophies, and it's just I almost said it. It's BS. We deserve a straight answer. That's all I'm saying.
I get you. But also, I really feel the system is set up so that they can't give a straight answer. And also the level of nuance that is involved. And I feel like it could become more political than it needs to be. I like the idea of them opining. I love the theory. I love how smart she is. I love how smart the vast majority of these justices are. At the same time, I don't want them there because all they do is hold us back in terms of not having a progressive mindset. But then again, people would argue that I have a different framework, which is true. I don't believe in let's use the vantage point of someone from the 1700s.
Yeah. Adrienne Lawrence for Supreme Court. For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.